Mitchell. Yeah. 1-4, Neil Robertson to win this match. I think that's about right, considering the fact that, as Alan pointed out, Hossein Vafaei, by his standards, has had a very poor season. He's 59th on the season's points total, which for him is a very strange place to be.
Thank you, Neil. Have a good game. Thank you, first frame. Hossein Vafaei to break.
So this is Australia against Iran in Wales with a Welsh referee, John Pellew. And my co-commentator is a former world champion, Joe Johnson.
Yeah, good afternoon, Phil. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, this should be an attacking match. Hossein, when he's on it, is very good to watch. And he has shots that only he can play. Some of the shots he's played over the course of the years has really amazed me. And Neil Robertson, of course, he's right up there, isn't he, with the greats. And it looks like he's finding some form at long last.
Yeah, his display against Mikhail Sabarchik was encouraging because prior to that, he'd suffered 3 consecutive heavy defeats. 6-1 to Sean Murphy, semi-final of the German Masters. World Grand Prix, lost in the first round over in Hong Kong to Jack Jones 5-1, and then beaten 6-1 by John Higgins in the Players' Championship. But I think he realises it's about time he put his foot to the pedal and gained some confidence heading to the Crucible.
Well, he looks to it at the moment. Played, as you say, played quite well in his earlier matches. And I like the shot he just played a moment ago, playing the red into the pack of reds, trying to release the black. And that's a mistake from Hossein. Coming off the reds thick, they could go anywhere. I think one that's gone over the left corner. Can he see enough of it? Would have thought he'd have flared this by now had he been able to see it. Yeah, I don't think he attempted it. He realised that the cue ball was going to be going close to that cluster of reds. Didn't want to take the risk. Again, being a little fortunate, covering the easy red. Maybe a chance to bring the black into play. But got to cover that red over the right corner.
Vafaei's lost his opening match in 5 ranking events this season. Xi'an Grand Prix, English Open, British Open, German Masters, Northern Ireland Open. Normally quite reliable, consistent, getting to the latter stages. Not the case this campaign yet.
No, and it can destroy your confidence, can't it, when you lose in those first round matches. Nothing like winning to restore confidence, and this would be a big scalp for Hossein if he could win.
Did win his first match here, 4-1 against Latvia's Artem Zhizhin. Made breaks of 76 and 100, but of course, Robertson is a different proposition.
That safety not the best. If he can cue the white, he might just be able to pop this red that's closest to the corner. Difficult to tell from here if he can. Yep, good shot. Cue ball just about coming out of balk, so this is a chance. Didn't want to kiss the blue. That looks to be end of break. Poor positional shot from Hossein.
Hossein Vafaei 5.
One thing is sure, that Vafaei will be hoping to provide more opposition than the last time he played Robertson. Semi-final of this event, 2019. Robertson won 6-0, outscoring his opponent 591 points to 55. Had a couple of centuries and scored fluently all day. This match, though, I think has a different feel about it somehow.
Yeah, just a fraction too hard. I think you can see the edge of the reds just past the pink. Cue ball's close. Yeah, good shot from where he was. Dice with the middle pocket bump, but couldn't ask for better than that. Neil Robertson. He's already earned more money this season than what he earned totally last season. Prize money this year is under 849,000, and still got big events to come.
Yeah, the vast majority of Robertson's prize money came because he won the Saudi Arabia Masters, which is a first prize of £500,000, and of course 500,000 world ranking points as well. It means he's got no worries about qualifying for the Tour Championship. He's definitely going to be there. But his form of late has definitely cooled.
Same Vafaei. He's only made 9 century breaks this season. A big contrast that from last season when he scored 32 centuries. So that tells you something about his form. Neil Robertson has had 50 centuries so far this season. He was the first man to score 100 centuries in one season. Since then, Trump has managed to score more. This time well short of the balk area. I've seen knock these kind of reds in many times. It's got great cue power. Yeah, good kiss. Would have left a red to the right corner without the kiss.
Very early stages already, Joe, but Vafaei has had a few slices of very useful luck.
Yeah, he made sure of screwing the cue ball back towards the balk cushion, just in case they missed the red. Again, over the pocket and that cue ball. Oh, it was very close, but he can get to this red over the pocket. Now, if he can get to a colour, and it's not easy, but he can get to the pink, to the middle. Oh, I can't believe he played it that hard. It's going to swing over to the left, the cue ball, towards the pack by playing it at that speed. He had to drop that in fairly steady, guaranteed to be on the pink to the middle. He's going to try and take full advantage of any mistakes that Neil Robertson makes. Try and get him under pressure.
Hossein Vafaei, 1.
Again, not the best safety shot. Cue ball well short of the balk cushion. But again, this isn't easy. Well, this time again, he doesn't get away with it. The red is on, but again, difficult to get to a colour from it. He's going to trust the luck a little. Good pot. Now, is he on anything?
1.
Another good one. Would have preferred to have been on the reds that's in the cluster. This is a little straight, so again needs good cue power.
Six.
Wow. He's totally lost it there, hasn't he? Just a safety. Again, I was thinking big screw back, bounce off the cushion for the pink into the same pocket. I'm trying to be very accurate.
Lee Robertson, 6.
Not an auspicious start for either of them. Really scrappy frame. Fair to say both players yet to settle. That's an understatement. The first match of the afternoon on table 1 was quite lengthy. The first frame here is going to be lengthy. We've played for 17 minutes and just a handful of points scored. And with the brown going towards the ball cushion, the frame has just become a little scrappier.
One.
Yeah, nothing for it though. Just a safety again. And the jaws of the green pocket looks to be the safest option. Cuts it off the left side of the reds. If he leaves it where the brown is, then he can play the thin safety. Yeah, couldn't have played that unless he's got the block with the green, in which case he's a little fortunate. Caught it much too thick. He's been very fortunate. So, this long red is a chance, but not many colours to play for down that end. Just the green. And it's a tough pot, so he's going to put most of his concentration into that. Yeah, that's a very good pot, and it's a nice angle on the green to screw across for these two reds by the pink spot. Well, that should do his confidence a little bit of good. Very good pot on the red.
4.
But still a difficult table.
Five.
Well, it would do him a favour if the pink goes on to the black spot, which it does.
11. 12. $18. 19.
Still only 31, Hossein Vafaei. But there's no doubt, so far this season, his career has regressed. A good run here, though, and a win over Robertson. That would greatly help in terms of his morale.
25.
We talked about him losing out to Robertson
26.
in that one-sided semi-final in this tournament in 2019. 3 years later, he came very close to making the final of the Welsh Open, losing 6-5 in the semi-finals to Judd Trump after leading 5-3. That's the kind of heights he was hitting, Joe.
Yeah, and that's the kind of heights that we're expecting him to hit, because he's certainly got the ability. Really good to watch when he's on song. I took the opportunity to try and develop those two reds, which he would have needed to win the frame at this visit. And to be fair, he has developed them. If he can pot this red and the colour. The red nearest the pocket will go. Needs to be just a little bit lower down than where the cue ball is now. Just a little bit closer to the red. He could try and split the two reds on the right side cushion if he can't hold the cue ball. Yeah, he's looking at that shot now, just round about there. Looks like dropping this in dead weight, and then he'd be on the red. That's closest to the pocket. Oh, he's gone a little bit too far. Just a touch too far.
39.
And them two reds would have been enough, because once he potted one, it released the other one. Now, what he's asking himself now is, do I play the shot? Thin cut to the corner. The chances are that if he plays the shot, leaves it over the pocket, he covers it with those two reds and the black. So maybe he can talk himself into this. If he could land on the green nicely, get back to the second red that's on the cushion, he wins the frame. So it's a big shot, this. Difficult. Well, had he got near the pot, he wouldn't have kissed the blue.
Vafaei,
Still
29.
a difficult table. that's a surprise. That is a surprise.
Yeah, the last two attempted pots, one by each player, have been missed by a country mile.
Yeah, and he'd potted a red like that earlier on, hadn't he, Hossein? In fact, it was more difficult than that.
It's still really early days, of course. Much too early to offer a major assessment, but I think the way this frame has gone so far, Robertson will not be pleased. Obviously won't be pleased with the situation he finds himself in, but also the way he's played the frame. Well, now the position of the balls are a lot more friendly for the player who's chasing, i.e. the Australian.
Yeah, he doesn't need to take this red onto the middle because he's guaranteed to leave the red by the green if he does. Maybe play the red by the yellow and just doesn't have to send it down the table, just send it to the green. Leave the cue ball touching the yellow. Well, that's just as good, actually, pushing a red safe. But now, it's not as good. Yeah, that's a good shot. That's what he played. Didn't play the cover on the red, but played to send the cue ball down the table. And I'm bringing the safe red off the cushion.
Yeah, it's the classic scenario, isn't it, of competing agendas. Robertson wants the table as open as possible. Vafaei wants to tighten everything up.
Frame time approaching 30 minutes. Well, he wouldn't have that one over. Well, maybe he would in a moment, but at first glance, it's an all or nothing shot if he takes it on. It could go anywhere if he misses it. That's a great shot. That's a great shot. The yellow, green and brown not in ideal positions, but that was going to make him feel good.
Yes, and it's been such a low-scoring frame that at least Robertson can get right back into it. But the clearance, as Joe said, extremely unlikely.
Well, you could almost hear what I was thinking there. Pot the red, blue, disturb the green and brown.
8.
Beyond reds to the middle. He's just run a little bit too far for comfort. 3 or 4 inches slower, and he has a really nice angle on the blue to play a cannon to those 2 balls. He might still be able to play it, but he's going to have to force it a lot more now if he does decide to play that shot.
Thirteen. 14.
Well, again, nice angle to try and play a cannon to the green. He's concerned about knocking the brown into the pocket. Let's see if he tries to disturb them. Good attempt. Good attempt.
20.
Had he caught them fullish, he'd have been on the yellow or the brown, and it would have been a good chance to win the frame.
The good thing for Robertson now, though, is that the green, yes, it's his problem, but it's also Vafaei's.
Yeah, good point, that. Tremendous cue power again.
26. B. Robertson, 26.
Trying to get in behind the blue. Yeah, played some good shots there. Neil Robertson started with a good long red to the corner.
Robertson 14 adrift, so he needs all 6 colours. Just keep plugging away, Joe. That's all he can do.
Well, he's plugged very well so far, hasn't he? Hossein had a decent chance when he had the long red, long straight red to the yellow pocket. That was a decent chance to win the frame. That's a bit fortuitous. Brown coming back across the table. Not quite a snooker, but it's difficult to play safe from there. Now, can he be tempted? He'd have to play with a touch of right-hand side on the cue ball to get onto the brown. Yeah, well, I did think that was worth a go. There was going to be distance between the balls had he missed it and a chance to win. But it's how you're feeling down there, how you see the shot.
$12 to the good Vafaei, so he needs just green and brown to leave Robertson requiring a snooker.
Might just be able to get the cue ball in behind the brown here. He's played it a little heavy, but he had to make sure that the green passed the middle. Well, where's this going to finish? Oh, it's a good cue ball. Again, easy safety shot to play. Either send the green back down towards the brown or the cue ball down towards the brown. And that looks pretty good. Excellent safety. A little wide. Get another attempt at that.
For Hossein Vafaei.
It was just a little strong. I can't believe he's considering playing it.
Yes, please.
Yeah, had he hit it at that speed, he could very well have left it on. He needs to just get there. That's a better speed. Nicely played.
And the 4 penalty points didn't make an awful lot of difference. Robertson needed the lot before he missed that initial snooker, and he still needs the lot now. Look at this, 39 minutes opening frame, real struggle. The epitome of scrappy and disjointed.
Yeah, there's not been a black potted in this frame, has there? Black went safe.
The little thing against Robertson here, if he does get down to the black, it's not the best side of the table for a left-hander.
close. Good effort, this. Yes, and well played. Although, to be fair, had he not got the snooker, the green was on. Well, can he just swerve it slightly? Difficult to get onto the brown, but might be able to get him out of trouble. They could pot it easy. Try to hit the brown.
The anomaly of the game. Before that, Robertson needed 5 pots. Now he needs just 4.
Hossein, Vafaei.
I played some good safety, both of them, in this mini battle on the colours. There's a safety success. Hossein just pipping him. Oh, this is a good attempt to try and bring the black into play. Oh, what a good shot that was. Well thought out. Very clever shot. Makes it a little tougher, but still you would think brown ball game. Although if Vafaei does get a snooker and gets 4 points from it, that would leave Neil Robertson needing a snooker. So worthwhile carrying on trying to get snookers, I think.
Having invested so much into this frame, whoever loses it is going to feel a little sore. Particularly Vafaei, who's been in command for most of it.
Yeah, he's very aware of sending that brown towards that left corner. But if he plays it just a little bit thicker with lots of side, bringing away from that pocket. Yep, that will do nicely.
Well, Joe, we didn't anticipate a first frame lasting 3/4 of an hour and counting. That's for sure.
Well, we thought there were 2 attacking players, but we also forgot to mention that the 2 very good safety players as well. And the balls did go awkward at the beginning of this game. Another good shot, Neil Robertson. if it's hard enough. Another good safety. And as I said earlier, has to hit it. Otherwise he's going to need snooker himself. This could go anywhere. This could go anywhere. Wow.
It's got the feel of a decider. It's the opening frame. Very tense.
He's tempted to take the brown on. But he did have an easy safety come snooker. Like so. Well, that helps Vafaei's cause, the blue going safe, and especially on that cushion, which doesn't favour a left-hander. Difficult to get to the pink from that blue now. Eases the pressure slightly, but only slightly. Another very good attempt. He's a ball short.
Foul and a miss.
Oh, what a difference that makes.
Same effect.
Robertson now needs a snooker.
Sorry, no miss. My mistake.
He said, did I miss it?
56.
I think he did.
Yeah. Yeah, but the scores. Sorry, I made the miscount.
Little confusion there. Robertson thought that Jean-Paul, who said it wasn't a miss, i.e. foul and a miss, but of course it was a miss of the brown, and that's the main thing. A strange way to end a strange frame, maybe, although the possibility of a snooker remains.
Yeah, and the blue was in a good spot, you know, Philip, for a snooker. So I'm surprised he played the pot there on the brown. Difficult to get in behind the black. Not impossible, but difficult.
Hey, Robertson, 4.
Well, he didn't look. This is a chance. I don't understand why he didn't roll the blue over the pocket. This is a chance. Just a little bit too hard. He'll be disappointed with that. So, another chance. Yeah, and that should make sure. Very long frame, 50-minute frame.
They say every frame pleases someone. That one pleased Hossein Vafaei, but I can't imagine who else. What a struggle it was. Timed out at 51 minutes. If the rest of the match is like that, it's going to be a good old-fashioned marathon. The Brown, Neil Robertson will be hoping that the rest of the contest is much more to his style of play, which is potting, break building, fluency. These two are playing for a place in the last 16 of this Bedvictor Welsh Open against Jack Jones, who came through this morning on this table, actually, in the 10 o'clock match, beating Anthony McGill 4-2.
23. $24.
Well, already the black is hemmed in. Can't imagine we're going to have a repeat of what happened in frame
29.
one.
Jackson Page, 29.
Oh, Neil Robertson having none of it. He's playing this red to try and free the black. But by sending the red down the table into the balk area, it means that the safety is going to be down this end. Unless Hossein decides to take that red onto the middle. And this is going to open a few reds up. Now can Neil Robertson be tempted by the red to the middle? It's tough. He's looking at it, but he knows if he misses it, he could be two down. You can't afford that in a best of seven. Yeah, he didn't get the cue ball near enough to the cushion or near enough to the black. He allowed Hossein to see that red down the other end of the table. Good pot. But now, look at the reds. This already could be a completely different game to the last one. Oh, good cueing. If the blue goes to the corner, that would be an option. Really whacked that one, and only just went in.
The cue action of Vafaei doesn't seem as fluid as it once was.
8.
Even there.
Yeah, I agree. There's like a bit of tension in the arm. Needs to make things a little simple just to get some confidence in a break. And he hasn't played that one as well as he could have.
13.
And the problem is that you're already being hard on yourself when you don't get ideal position. So you've got to play the next shot while you're accepting angry thoughts in your head. That's better. Helps him to relax when
19.
the next ball is easy.
20.
That's not a good shot. I mean, if he's got a small angle on the black, then okay, but he doesn't want to be straight. That makes it harder for yourself. You could have left that cue ball anywhere there from that easy red. It's okay.
$27. 28.
Once again, left it a little straight. Straighter than what he wanted. It was a good long red.
35.
He potted. Neil Robertson will be annoyed at leaving him a chance at that red. But now this frame is in Vafaei's hands.
36.
Well, that's more like it. Nice angle on the black or pink.
Give me a minute, please.
John Pellew just asking for a little bit of extra time to get this pink precise.
Thank you. 42.
Oh, can you see enough of this red to the right corner? You can.
$43.
He didn't like it, did it? It wasn't difficult for a player of Hossein's calibre, but he was shaking his head. And, well, seen them drop before today, but these pockets are not playing big. What a chance that was to go 2-0 up.
1.
And it's presented Robertson with just the kind of opening he was beginning to crave.
$7.
He's got golden memories of this
8.
Welsh Open. It provided his second world ranking title. He'd won the Grand Prix in 2006. Then he captured this title just a few months later. Remarkable story, actually. He beat Andrew Higginson in the final, 9-8, from 8-7 down. Higginson, who made a 1-4-7 break that week, was on the verge of completing one of the great fairy tale stories in ranking events, but he couldn't quite do it. Robertson got his hands on the silverware. And, of course, 12 years later, he repeated as the Welsh Open champion, beating Stuart Bingham in the final.
Yeah, Vafaei will be pleased with that last shot. Pushing that red towards that left side cushion makes things a little bit more difficult for the clearance.
22.
Yeah, just a little short of pace.
29.
You may have to get the long stuff out here. And we've seen these missed.
Yes.
Just momentarily thought about craning over, but it was far too much into the table to do that. His whole alignment would have been completely compromised. And Joe's right, this is a really ticklish kind of shot.
Yeah, good shot. It just wriggled in. It's the speed that helped it into the pocket.
30.
Again, lifted a little short. 6 inches further would have made the red unmissable. He should still get it, but it's just that little bit more difficult. And it affected the position. So that pink takes him into the lead. And that ready push safe earlier just might come to save
45.
Same Vafaei. Trying to bring it into play. And you can say it's a little bit unfortunate there. He found the cannon.
51.
It could have been a lot easier than this. Good shot. He could have screwed to the side cushion and played the red down the table, but he recognises that these pockets are pretty tight.
Robertson, 51.
First half century of the match, but it's light years from being decisive.
Yeah, he caught that too full, so he needs a bit of luck. Well, this is a chance, I was saying. He could play for the yellow, which would give him a good cue ball if he missed the red.
You know, Joe, you made the point earlier on, and I think it's a really valid point. He seems to be hitting the balls with too much power to me. He's not the floater, the smooth player you recall from a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he did seem to hit that one a little hard because he could have got the cue ball there without hitting it so hard. And the harder you hit it, the more accurate you have to be able to pot the ball. So down to the safety battle again. And you've got to say that Hossein won that battle in the last frame.
The side on the cue ball, which was excessive, kept that white out. And it keeps this frame bubbling.
Well, he could play the pot here. He'd be on the green if it goes in. And he might even get the snooker if he misses, if he plays it steady. Yeah, Hossein winning the safety battle. It's another good one. What a tremendous pot. Very nearly went in off, but what a pot that was. Well, that wasn't so good. Not sure if he can get to the green from there. I have to play it with a lot of right-hand side on the cue ball. Makes the yellow missable.
And that is exactly what happened. So the frame remains very much alive.
It wasn't a good shot from yellow to yellow, was it, to be fair?
If you're just joining us, Vafaei won the first frame, a marathon of 52 minutes on the brown. This one will also be decided on the colours. It's been really hard-fought stuff so far.
Again, this looks very good. Another very good safety shot. Tap on the table. Neil. What a stroke of luck that was. Nothing you can do about that.
Sometimes you can't legislate. You just have to rely on good fortune, and wow, that was really good fortune.
Well, I suppose there's a half chance of a double here into the left corner. Playing the safety. And if it goes in, he's on the green. I think this is worth a go. Yeah. Had it gone in, half a chance there.
Foul for Hossein Vafaei.
Quick look to see if it's a free ball, which it isn't. Again, this is going to be close. Good effort. Certainly knows his angles, Hossein Vafaei. Another good safety from Neil Robertson. They're going to play some good stuff, these two. And delighted with the escape, I'm sure. And that's all he could hit. Double kisses on if he plays up and down. Well, the first half chance for quite a while, and it's not easy. And wasn't far away.
Foul for Neil Robertson.
So another half chance. Yellow, green and brown required. There's a yellow. He needs a little kiss here.
2.
A little bit thinner would have been all right. So maybe just the snooker, or attempt at the snooker.
Neil Robertson, 2.
These 2 frames just an indication that even for fine, skilled, aggressive break builders, sometimes matches aren't all wine and roses. You have to dig in.
Yeah, the 13 points don't really matter. Whoever gets in could win the frame. Well, this time it's Hossein who's a little fortunate, although there is a chance of getting the cue ball in behind the black. Just a fraction too hard. Yeah, caught it too thin, so it should be 1 each. Green and brown required.
3.
Not quite in the league of the first frame, but this has been a real dogfight. Again.
7.
And Robertson will be mightily relieved to share the first 2 frames. After that
12.
52-minute opener, this has been a 28-minute sprint. Relatively.
18. On frame.
Robertson does equalise. He will be hoping this match improves in quality. The Bedvictor Welsh Open. It's day 3. Today, the last 32 will be played in its entirety. Neil Robertson and Hossein Vafaei, the latest 2 players to go onto centre stage. I can tell you, by the way, on table 2, Jackson Page has taken a 2-1 lead over Chang Bing-yu. Robertson, as yet, not up to his normal standards. That's the kind of ball you would normally roll in, even though the difficulty is obvious.
One.
Does he have the angle on this red? Let's play a little cannon to the red below it. Develop the black. Not easy.
6.
Again, not too difficult, that shot. Both players missing shots they should get.
You know, Joe, I was there at the Championship League in Leicester when Hossein Vafaei turned up one day and he said he slept very awkwardly on his shoulder. He was in real pain. Could hardly get down to play the shots. Actually, it was a painful experience delivering the cue. He's been to see medical professionals to try and sort out the issue. We don't know what the status of that injury is, but what I can tell you is that since he sustained that injury, he's not been the same.
Yeah, trying to play the cannon to the red and black.
6.
Didn't quite have the angle on the pink to go into the reds. Yeah, good shot. He wasn't sure if he could pot that. Maybe it was so tight it would only go in off that angle. But here's a chance to open the reds. No, is he on anything? Well, let's say it could have been better. He's on the red to the middle, but can he get to a colour from it?
Robertson 14.
A ringing mobile
Could you make
phone. I'm
sure
surprised
the
actually
switched off
that
on
Robertson
silent,
didn't
please?
try and step away from that shot. It is so annoying because in these venues, even though there's hundreds of people in there, it is very quiet and a ringing mobile phone just shatters concentration.
Yeah, it was right on the shot as well, and he could have stood up, as you say, which I'm surprised he didn't, and then said, "Is it for me?"
1. 6. 7.
Yeah, once again, overscrewed it. Played for the blue, I'm pretty sure of. Would have had a nice angle just to go into the reds. He's played this one well, though. The red below the pink will go.
10.
Just a little screw shot for the pink to the middle.
Lem.
Must be remembered, Joe, he's had a good career. Not everyone breaks into the top 16, as he did. Highest ever ranking 3 years ago, 15th. Former world amateur champion in 2011. and a ranking event winner. Okay, it was the shootout, but boy, did he play well to win that. In pretty much every match he played, he made a big break. And in that format,
17.
that takes some doing.
Yeah, he overscrewed the pink again. You know, his touch just isn't there. Left himself with this thin cut.
Players are quick to pick up on signs emanating from their opponent. Robertson knows that Vafaei's nowhere near his best. The problem is for Robertson, so far, he's not been anywhere near his best. But that was more like it.
Yeah, that was a good pot. Coming around the 2 cushions. 3 cushions for the blue. This is the way the frames have gone. It's still an awkward table, isn't it? Yeah, he's nicely in, but all he's got to play with is those 2 reds by the pink at the moment.
Six. Seven. Thirteen. 14.
Yeah, he had a choice there whether to leave the pink so he could split the black 2 reds or the ones on the side cushion. And in the end, he didn't do either. He left himself 2 straight. Although that was a great attempt to bring them into play. Both balls bouncing in the air. That's a great recovery.
21.
Oh, what a shot that was. What a shot that was, screwing in and out of balk. This is tough
24.
down the cushion. If he decides to take it on. Look at this for a shot. That's the right-hand side on the cue ball. Not many players could have played that one. Or would have even attempted.
It was 24.
It wasn't an easy pot. What was shocking about that? How far he missed it by. Robertson, it seems, trying to make something happen, trying to give himself some rhythm.
shot. Excellent shot. Now that should give him a bit of confidence. Frame winning chances. Yeah, he can just about cue that.
7. 8.
If the black spot is held, it will go down onto the brown spot, which won't concern him at this stage of the game. It's a great chance to take a 2-1 lead.
15. 16.
'The opening red in this break should provide a tonic for Hossein Vafaei. By far his best shot of the match so far, and it's given himself a wonderful opportunity to hit the front again.
Yeah, we just got a glimpse there of the yellow. It will just about pass the brown.
23.
If not, then he would have been taking the brown. Doesn't want the kiss, and especially half ball. That was a poor positional shot, you've got to say. So this game is anybody's again.
Yes, at this level to do that, that's not bad luck. That's pretty much unforgivable.
Yeah, shouldn't have cannoned the black for sure. So we're back to the safety battle. Hossein Vafaei with a 13-point lead. But everything there.
Robertson needing all 6 colours. Vafaei, yellow, green and brown.
Is this a good kiss? I'll say it is. Very fortunate. Had he not got the snooker, that was a chance to win the frame. He hadn't played the yellow good. Now, where's this going to finish? Good pot.
2.
So this green is all he's going to need with the brown over the pocket. So all concentration onto the green.
Hossein Vafaei 2.
Well, that was the definition of a deceleration, and that's why he overcut it by a distance. Symptomatic of the fact he's got no confidence whatsoever. That's apparent.
Yeah, he didn't play it confidently, did he? And it's going to hurt.
3.
This is definitely going to hurt. If Neil Robertson can clear here. Missed that by a long way.
That
7.
perhaps has the look of a turning point.
$12.
He got a good pot on the yellow. Well, that's gone as bad as it could. And that
18.
has just run on a little further than he wanted. No, sir. So, that missed green
Robertson
from
18.
Hossein Vafaei hasn't cost him. Still in this game. So surprised. And he missed that. Wait for it. I don't think he's going to miss this one, though.
Well, if he misses this, there'll be questions in the house. Neil Robertson pot success rate 84%, which is much lower than normal. Nevertheless, he's 2-1 ahead.
Neil Robertson to break.
And after scraping home in frame 3, he will be looking to find some freedom for the remainder of the match. The Welsh Open has been kind to Robertson. I mentioned his 2 wins in 07 and 2019. Runner-up in 2016, losing out to Ronnie O'Sullivan in the final. Semi-finalist in 2009 and 3 other quarter-finals.
Yeah, there's been nothing wrong with his safety. I'll say Vafaei. It's been excellent. But he has suffered with his potting, positional play, and especially on important shots. and didn't play the double. Played the safety back into the balk area. And looks pretty good. Oh dear. Just what Hossein didn't want. And he's on the black. Flicked off the red into the corner pocket. Nothing he can do about shots like that. But it does hurt. Especially if your opponent scores heavy off it.
8.
Does that go? It looks very tight from here.
Nine. Sixteen. Seventeen.
Neil Robertson's fellow countryman, Eddie Charlton, who, Joe, you know well, absolutely despised flukes to such an extent that he wanted a tournament where flukes didn't count, it was nomination. So, of course, he put this tournament in place.
22.
And the first player to have a fluke, of course, was Steady Eddie himself. I can only imagine the language used.
23.
But that can have such a massive impact on a frame, a match, a season, a career even.
Yeah, it's a cruel game sometimes. And that opening shot from Neil Robertson when he fluked
30.
it looks like it's going to be costly. All these reds available.
31.
And all the colours available. Nothing he can do. Except try and prepare himself. That's the only positive thing you can do when somebody gets a fluke against you. You've got to sit there, take it, and try and prepare yourself, because you never know when you're going to be back at the table. It could be quickly, or it could be never, but you've got to prepare yourself in case.
$39.
looks like he's going to be playing the one down the cushion.
46.
I don't know if he played for that. With these reds, that will go to the right corner. I'm not sure he played for this one, but he'll take it.
47. $54. $55.
Already the highest break of the match.
$62. $63.
So another red after this blue. And it's been a very important fluke that Neil Robertson got in with.
68. $69.
Little cannon, maybe, to the two reds to the left, nearest the left side cushion. Oh, didn't need to. One of them went. No need to play cannons if reds go.
76. $77.
Well, when he got the fluke, he actually looked embarrassed, but
84.
he finished bang on the black. There's the fluke.
85.
And when you're down in this game, snooker has a habit of giving you a swift kick. It's the way it's always been. And poor old Hossein Vafaei struggling for form. That's the last thing he needed.
92. 93. $100. Lee Robertson, 100 and the frame.
So the frame ends with a century. Finally some fluency. Robertson now 3-1 ahead. Welcome back to Venue Cymru. Welcome back to the Bedvictor Welsh Open. Can Hossein Vafaei pull himself out of a very deep hole? Not just in terms of the scoreline, which is bad enough, obviously. 2 down with 3 to play against a giant of the game like Neil Robertson. But just the way he's been playing. And of course, the snooker gods have conspired against him in addition.
Yeah, not the best break off, I'm afraid. Left a couple of reds to go at. This one to the middle, the easiest, but can he see enough of it? You think so? Well, it looked like he had to turn it with all that right-hand side on the cue ball. Surely the other red would have been easier.
What?
he wants to go into the pack of reds from the blue, but he's actually devoid of confidence at the moment. But he doesn't have to go into them hard. If he misses the pink on the right, tries to nudge a few reds out. Yep, no attempt. Very tentative shot he played there. Hasn't left himself nicely on this red. Putting himself under pressure. Good recovery.
7.
Again, lost the cue ball.
Hossein Vafaei, 7.
His scoring power has been very restricted today. Highest break 43.
Didn't want the kiss on the blue. So, chance for Neil Robertson. Just a couple of reds available. The one he's about to play and one at the back of the pack.
One.
Now, if he can leave this red in such a way that he's low on it so he can open more reds up. Doesn't want to be straight on this red. And that looks just about right. And it all depends on this shot now, whether Hossein Vafaei comes back to the table. It looks perfect, this. And if he plays it with backspin, screws the cue ball out of there, he's going to definitely be on the black.
Nine.
Yep. And now, this frame of match is in Neil's hands.
Sixteen.
Just come a little bit too far for comfort, but still play a little cannon to those two reds directly above the black, not too hard. Just so he's guaranteed to be on this red to the right corner.
24.
Hossein Vafaei's best performance in a world ranking event this season, last 32 of the Wuhan Open. Had a chance today to
32.
better that, but the chance seems to be slipping through his fingers.
33.
Well, as he said right at the very beginning of this match, he's down at number 59 on a one-year ranking, so he's got some work to do, I think. And most of the work will come off the table.
Vafaei has qualified for next month's
40.
World Open. He beat Lan Yuhao 5-2 in qualifying, so he's got that to look forward to. And the solace for him is that, okay, you can lose confidence in snooker, but you can also regain it.
41.
And that will be the hope. Doesn't seem to be a great amount of hope here, though, Joe. Not the way that Robertson made a turn in the previous frame, and he's in prime position again.
Yeah, since the fluke, and the fluked red in the opening shot of the last frame,
46.
he's looked a different man, to be fair. Although Hossein was in first in this frame,
47.
and to me, he kind of avoided the shot going into the cluster. Just rolling the blue in, which left a difficult red to the left corner, which again didn't get on a colour, didn't play a particularly good safety shot. Allowed Neil to play off the reds. And for me, it would be very fortunate to get back to the table, because this is an ideal position for Neil Robertson. He's got choices to make here. Could play for reds, or he could play a little cannon into the pink and red, which is done, and that's worked out.
52.
Yeah, Vafaei also appeared in the last 32 of the International Championship. But it's going to end in the last 32 of this one, it seems, if this shot goes correctly.
The red to the left corner obviously favours a right-handed player. Wouldn't be too difficult for a right-handed player. But a left-handed player, it's just that a little bit more difficult.
$53.
Getting older, Neil Robertson. Just celebrated his 44th birthday. Feeling the strain there.
$60.
Wow. Fractions. A fraction harder. He wasn't on anything at all.
61.
This black should seem safe.
$68. $69.
The fluke brought a radical change to the match. Before, Robertson was playing uncharacteristically low-scoring snooker, but not in the last couple of frames.
76.
Finishing with a flourish.
77.
Yeah, he's made 1,033 centuries with that century in the last frame in his career.
84.
One of only 4 men, I think it's 4 men, to have made 1,000 centuries.
Always hungry for more, though.
91. $92.
Loves his football, does Neil Robertson. He's a big Chelsea fan. And to use football parlance, it's been a match of two halves. From grind to flow.
98.
Well, you can't get better than that, can you?
103.
2 centuries to finish the match with.
$107. $112. $118.
When he gets his teeth into a tournament, Neil Robertson is always a force to be reckoned with. And that's the case here on the North Wales coastline. He plays Jack Jones in the last 16 because today, after a slow start, he defeated Hossein Vafaei 4-1.